Hey everybody, what's happening? Neil here at Ottawa Comiccon 2022, and I'm here with an extremely special guest, Mr. Maurice Lamarche.
Where?
How you doing?
Maurice Lamarche is here? Oh my God, I love him.
I know, I get starstruck every time I see him.
Thanks for having me, Neil.
Thank you for coming, Maurice. I just want to ask you a couple of very quick questions here, because you've got a lot of fans coming out to see you.
Sure thing.
Before I do, of course, I got to just mention for the audience, in case you're living under a rock and you don't know, Maurice is very well known for his voiceover work. He's done a lot of voices for Futurama. He's done, obviously, the Brain on Pinky and the Brain. He's done several Looney Tunes characters. He's got Egon Spengler from the Real Ghostbusters. That was a nice little low bass voice there. What was it like working on the Real Ghostbusters back in the 80s with Frank Welker and everybody?
Well, it was only the second job that I'd done in American cartoons. I'd done 2 Nelvana specials when I lived here in the 70s. Then I took a 5-year hiatus, not intentionally, but Canadian momentum didn't translate in those days. So I didn't do cartoons again until 1985. I did Inspector Gadget, the second season as Chief Quimby,
Right.
and then right into Ghostbusters. And both those were wonderful experiences, but Ghostbusters was especially great because it wasn't a knockoff show or getting some secondary treatment. Ivan Reitman read every script. The mandate from Ivan, God rest his soul, was each episode of Real Ghostbusters would have to be fit to be a Ghostbusters 2. So the writing, the emphasis was on the writing of that show. And so consequently, we really tried to bring the spirit of the movie to each episode. And getting to play Egon and kind of getting close, it's not an exact Harold, but to kind of stand on Harold's shoulders and, really honor the deadpan of Egon, which is my favorite kind of humor, was really, really special, and those scripts were fantastic. So the close association with that show was so much fun for me. Yeah.
Great. That's excellent. And of course, probably your most famous voice is the Brain, which, of course, as everyone knows, is based on Orson Welles. You do an incredible Orson Welles impression, probably the best in the world.
Oh, you're very kind, my friend. When I take over the world, you shall be spared, Neil.
Thank you, Brain. You also did it for Ed Wood, the movie Ed Wood, the Tim Burton movie, where you actually played Orson Welles in that situation.
Vincent D'Onofrio played Orson Welles.
Right, the voice, yeah.
And I simply dubbed in afterwards. Vincent did a brilliant job, but Tim Burton and it's Tim Burton's movie, and Vincent and I have talked about this, and he bears no malice to either of us. We both understand it's Tim's movie, and he wanted to really get as close as he could to creating the illusion that Orson Welles met Ed Wood. And he was a fan, being an animator himself in his early days, of Pinky and the Brain.
Right.
So he simply said, I want to redo the voice track, get me the guy who plays the Brain.
Excellent. And so that's how it happened, eh?
Yeah. So I flew up to San Francisco and worked with Tim directly, and he was right there in studio with me. We went line by line, and it was really wonderful to be directed by such a legend.
Absolutely. Yeah, you've worked with some amazing people, actors and directors,
I've been
of course,
very
alike.
lucky. Yes.
Yeah. And another question that I wanted to ask you about, what really got you into to acting in the first place? Like, was it just kind of doing funny voices in class, or what was it that really sparked the passion for acting for you?
Well, it really was that. It was I discovered that it was the one thing that, sort of uniformly got the approval of other people. I was not an athlete. My brother was the natural athlete. So doing voices and singing, in my den, these are the things that my family all gathered around and listened to. My grandmother loved my singing, even though I was, only 11 years old. My voice hadn't changed yet. She couldn't get enough renditions of Raindrops Keep Falling on my head from me. But I discovered I could do impressions in grade 7, and Columbo had just come on the air, and my teacher, Mr. Fraser, was doing yard duty, and he was trying to do his bad impression, and I said, "Excuse me, Mr. Fraser, sir, I'm sorry to bother you, but there's been a murder here. You're killing the Peter Falk impression." And I was off to the races. The girls laughed, and that's the big hook for the addiction. You make the girls laugh. You go, well, there it is. I got to do this for the rest of my life. So, my whole thing has been humor all my life. And one thing led to another, and I just built up a repertoire of about 30 impressions, and it just kept going.
Yep.
Yeah.
You do that amazing thing with the eye when he does Peter Falk. It's uncanny. You and Kevin Pollak do the best impressions in the world, I think.
Pollak and I have had Falk-offs, and it's never quite clear who wins because we both do an excellent Peter Falk. So.
Indeed. You also do an excellent William Shatner. And do you still do, I know it's because of the pandemic and stuff, maybe you haven't been doing it, but would you still get back into doing the annual Talk Like William Shatner Day on YouTube? I mean, I know you used to do it. It's been a while, but...
I felt like Bill enjoyed it, but made it his own holiday, so I stopped making the videos. But I would certainly be up for honoring Bill again next March 22nd.
Excellent. Well, I may have to send you my impression.
In fact,
Mr.
Kevin and I, that's very good. Kevin and I did do a year before this. Kevin and I did a Talk Like William Shatner Day video where we both talked about Bill and what he's meant to us and all of that, and it was a lot of fun. So yeah, awesome. The tutorial's still up. You can still find the How to Talk Like William Shatner tutorial of mine that I did in 2003, I think it was. So look for it.
So coming up on a 20th anniversary then of that tradition.
Yep.
Excellent. And one other question I had for you very quickly is about, in doing all these impressions, is there any impression that you really wanted to do or that someone maybe hired you to do, but it was just too, you just couldn't get it, which is hard for me to imagine because he's amazing, so versatile. But has there ever been an impression that you went, I'd love to do it, but I can't quite?
I've never felt my John Wayne is where it should be. It's sort of strange. So many people do John Wayne, and there's so many, kind of trope things to hit, like the walk and all that. And I always like to kind of do, a really deep dive into a voice. And I've just never felt, maybe I just, because of all the smoking and the drinking that he did, which are habits I stopped a long time ago. I've been at a drink in 33 years.
Yeah, you don't want to be that method.
Yeah, no, not that method. So I've never been satisfied with my John Wayne. But other than that, I just zero in on who I zero in on. Sometimes they just jump out on me. I don't even know I can do them. And out they come. And sometimes I work really, really hard. But John Wayne's the only one that's eluded me.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you so much for your time,
I'm glad
Maurice.
to be here.
Is there anything you want to promote, the coming up? Anything you can talk about? Just as a last thing?
Yes, there's a new show called That's My NDA.
Okay.
That's my non-disclosure agreement.
Can't talk about it.
Yeah, there's so many things I've signed NDAs on that I can't talk about. But keep your eyes on Disney Plus this fall. That's all I'll say.
Okay.
Watch Disney Plus for upcoming projects, especially this fall.
Yep.
And we're very excited about the third season of Animaniacs.
Yes.
That's coming out on Hulu. Which I know you don't have up here in Canada.
No, we have it on Teletoon, so we got
great.
it. Yeah, we're good.
So then watch out for that. We're putting the finishing touches on it now.
Sweet.
I'm very excited, and I am allowed to talk about the new seasons of Futurama. We're making new episodes that will be on, again, Hulu or Disney Plus or both. We'll see what happens for Canada.
Oh, wow.
But we are making 20 new episodes of Futurama.
Oh, I can't
10
wait.
of which will be available next fall.
Oh, that's fantastic news, Maurice. That's
all right.
Awesome. All right, well, definitely check him out on social media. Follow him on Twitter, Instagram, and all that stuff as well.
Maurice Lamarche, at Maurice Lamarche, all one word on Twitter, and at Maurice_Lamarche on Instagram.
Yes, fine Canadian actor, and a pleasure. Thank you so much. It's been an honor, and good luck with the rest of the weekend.
Thank you.
And there's plenty of time. There's still Saturday and Sunday tomorrow, guys, so come on down to the EY Centre here in Ottawa on Uplands and come meet Maurice and Rob and so many awesome guests. We're going to have Georges St. Pierre here tomorrow. It's going to be fantastic.
Yes.
All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. This is Neil. Peace.